Hello, it's me, Higher Tornado, and today I am bringing you a video on the Dark Souls 3 Cinders mod. And yeah, this is going to be a tutorial on how to install it so that you can be able to play the Cinders mod on your computer. The reason I'm doing this is because I got asked by a viewer if they, not if, they needed some help with the models. So that's the reason why I'm doing this video. But this can be applied to everybody. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. So I have the Dark Souls 3 Cinders mod currently installed on this computer. Now I usually use my gaming computer, but okay, that doesn't really matter. Well, first what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Dark Souls 3, we're gonna click the cog, and then the cog is we're gonna click on properties, and we basically go to local files, and then go to browse. This is opening up my game directory right here. Now I already have the Cinders mod installed, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to uninstall the Cinders mod. Now, if you ever need to disable the Cinders mod because you want to play regular vanilla, all you got to do is you got to delete a certain file, the dinput8 file. If you delete that, then bam, it will automatically turn off the mod. So as you can see, I'm going to go back to play. I'm going to hit play, and then it's going to load up, and the Cinders should be gone. It should be the base game. Just take it a couple seconds to load. And Dynamico from software. And as you can tell, bam, base game. There's no Cinders mod here anywhere. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to create a new character. Even if you have existing characters. Now, if you have existing characters, the first thing you want to do is you probably want to move those onto a different file somewhere else on your computer. Just so, you don't accidentally, screw the pooch and delete all your hundreds of hours of saves. So, you can do that by going to the game directory, and you gotta go to... I actually don't know where the save files are. I know, this is why I installed the Cinders mod, and I didn't even move my files over, so... Probably in the update installation, so it says... says it somewhere though. So it says recommended to move your save files. So in order to do save files, you got to do run percent app data percent / Dark Souls 3, and then bam, this is where your save files would be. And then you would move those to a different location. Just so you're not, because if you do it with the mod, you're just going to mess up your character, basically. Alright, so the very first thing, like I said, you want to make sure you're Dark Souls. First thing you want to do is you want to make sure you have the launch setting as play offline. That way you don't get banned and you play it only with other banned players. So make sure that's on play offline. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to create a new game. You want to create a vanilla save. Now all you're doing is skipping cutscenes. So we got the yes indeed part. That's the first cutscene. And then you want to make your character just a base character, vanilla. You're not going to use this character, so just bam. Finalize creation. At least I wouldn't use the character in the mod. You could mess the mod up somehow, so I just wouldn't. Alright, and then that's the actual cutscene they're talking about that you need to skip. Now once you're done with that, make sure you're in the Cemetery of Ash. And then get out of the game. Now I can close the game. Now we're going to install the Cinders mod. But first, I have to uninstall the Cinders mod. So like it says, you could just delete the dinput file, and then it'll remove the mod engine file, which will disable Cinders. But all you gotta do is you can just drop that file back in from your actual main download. From your setup download, you can just pop that file back right in, and then bam, you're back in Cinders. All right. So yeah, this says if you play vanilla and Cinders on the same Steam account, make sure to delete your characters that you play in Cinders. or the whole save file. That's why I didn't move my save files and stuff, because I figured I was just gonna only play on PC on the Cinders mod, and if I'm ever playing, regular vanilla, I'll just play on my Xbox or my PlayStation, for example. All right, but yeah, so that's saying to just to do that to uninstall. That way you can actually play the base game. But what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna delete the Cinders file. Oop, I accidentally just deleted the entire game file. All right, so yeah, we're gonna delete the Cinders file, and then we're also gonna download everything else that came with the mod. So the hoodie patchers are gone, both of those, the mod engine, and then I already deleted the D input, and then the README mod text document as well that came with it. All right, so now I have a fresh game. This is completely fresh, no mod at all. I also like to make sure that I verify my files real fast just to make sure we're all good. This does take a second though. Alright, and there is a specific order of files that you need to throw into your game directory first. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw out our Cinders, the main file. We're going to extract that to our desktop using WinRAR. Now, the website does say to use 7-zip, and that WinRAR is known for causing installation issues, but I have never seen any issues with WinRAR. Now, there was one time I accidentally did what my viewer, I'm pretty sure, is talking about right now, is, probably just forgot to download the models file entirely, and then you just throw your Cinders file in, and then you're good. But that's not anything that WinRAR did, so, or it could have been something else, of course, too, like, just never merge the two files, or you have two separate files in your game directory. Like, there's a whole bunch of things. But basically, you just want to make sure you get your main file into the game directory, and like make sure you download Cinders main file. You extract main file to your desktop. Main file, extract from your desktop, you want to put it in your game directory. Alright? We're almost there. Alright, so we've just validated all our files, we're good. Alright, so now I'm actually going to show you this, what I was talking about. Alright, so we want to make sure we have our game directory open. Alright. So no mods installed on this right now. I'm going to move this over a little bit. Okay. Let's go. So now we're going to get our main file. Main. I'm going to show in folder. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract this to my desktop. I'm just going to double click it. I'm going to click on the Cinders. I'm going to extract it to my desktop like that. Now 7-zip, I'm pretty sure it's the same way. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with 7-zip. I've only used it a handful of times. I just use WinRAR. It's just the way, it's just the way I learned, so. Alright, but once that's done, we're going to close out of this file. We're going to keep this open because we're going to refer to it later. Alright, we're going to bring our Cinders file right here that we have. We're going to drop it into our game directory. Make sure it's actually in the game file, not Dark Souls 3. You want to make sure it's in the game file right here. Alright, once that's done, you're going to notice that file is gone. It actually moved the entire file into your actual game directory. Alright, now the second thing, we're going to want to get our models file. So we're going to double click our models file. We're going to click on Cinders. Now you notice the folder name is the exact same. So this is why I'm saying don't extract both of your files at the exact same time onto your desktop, or things are going to get pretty messy. And that actually did happen to me while I was trying to make this video. What I did is I dropped the Cinders file, and I dropped the main file onto my desktop and my models at the same time. And they actually ended up, I think they actually ended up both merging onto my desktop. So it was just one folder, but the models actually inserted itself into the Cinders file. So I actually, or folder. So I actually don't think, and then you just throw that in the game directory, and I think it wasn't actually a mess up. Like, it was still fine, but it was kind of confusing to do it that way. So I just recommend extracting one file, putting it on your desktop, putting it in your game directory, and just keep on doing that, basically. That way you're not messing anything up, you're not accidentally putting files where they're not supposed to be. So yeah. because the end result, you want to make sure that you have one Cinders file in your game directory, not more than one, just one. All right, so there we go. Now we can close out of that, and then you see we have the Cinders file again. Now we're going to move this, and we're going to put it into our Cinders file again. Now if I moved it, and if I just moved it to our game directory, it'll automatically put it in the Cinders file. We're just going to put it into the Cinders mod file right here. And if I actually... Okay, that's actually wrong. That's actually wrong. We're going to take this back out. Because notice the Cinders file, there was another Cinders file in there. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to drop it into just our game directory, like that. So now we don't have two Cinders files. If I go in here, it's not there anymore. So what happened is it actually converted the model file that also said the Cinders folder. What it did is it converted it, it took out the folder, and it actually put in just the parts folder, because that's what the models folder consists of. Like you click on Cinders and it just goes to parts. And then these are all our models right here. All right. So yeah, make sure you're not putting your Cinders folder into your Cinders folder again, like I just did, or else that will happen and you'll have two Cinders folder. And then what will happen is your models won't load correctly. So that's how you do it. Like I don't usually bring it right into the, like, yeah, that's why you don't bring it into the folder. Like you can be in the game folder like this, like how I am now. You can just drag and drop it in here. Like just make sure you're not hovering the Cinders folder itself, or you're gonna have two Cinders folders and the models aren't gonna load. All right, so now we got the last thing to do, and that's the setup. Now when I'm extracting this, when you hit you want to go back here, you want to get to this part where it says the actual, so because like when you double click this, when you extract it like this, it's just going to extract all of them individually to the desktop. What I like to do is I like to do the actual thing, then extract this, and then what you do is you click desktop, and then new folder on desktop. That way it actually makes it into a folder. You now have a folder, instead of a bunch of things spread out throughout my desktop, because that's what would happen. Then I'm just going to bring it to my file. Wait, actually, that's wrong. Okay, again, I'm wrong. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to open up the folder, and you're going to bring all the individual items into your game folder, like that. There, that's how it's supposed to be done. Make sure these files are not inside a folder, okay? Make sure they're loose items in here, like all these other little tiny files, because if it's in a folder, the mod might not load up correctly. All right, and then we can even go into this mod engine directory, and like the website says, you can make it so you can actually launch online, because the mod itself, even if you have the launch setting set to play online, it will still block your network access from your actual game folder right here. So if you do want to play online with like your buddies, or random players, even though it's kind of weird to play with random players, like you don't actually see any signs or anything like that, I don't think, but you would change this 1 to a 0, and then you'd save, and then you'd load up your game, and then what you would do is you'd put password matching. You would put Cinders in for your password matching. That would be the password. And then you can even do this. You can also force an alternate save file. So that way it's, the mods are a separate save file entirely. You can also press 1 on this to disable it. I think that's what it says. But yeah, that's basically all you really need. Sometimes you might need to mod your override directory. Make sure you're, in the /Cinders. And yeah, that should be everything. So yeah, we're gonna exit out of this, we're gonna exit out of that, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and launch our game. Now you could even do another verify files if you feel like you need to, but I don't do that after installing. So yeah, just make sure your setup files are not inside your Cinders folder at all. You want them not in a file at all. You want those four separate things, or actually 5 including the README, just in the game file, in the game directory. Alright, so we're gonna boot up Dark Souls 3, and it should say Dark Souls Cinders. It should say Cinders 2.12. Yep, there it is. Alright. And then just to make sure we did everything correctly, we're gonna hit New Game. Skip the cutscene. And then we're just gonna make sure all our classes models loaded in correctly. Alright, Assassin, that's not... Actually, that might actually be part of the base game. Alright, let's see. Wait until we see something that's not part of the base game and that basically confirms it. Bam, right there. The Adventure. That set is from Dark Souls 1. Like, that set's from Dark Souls 1, so... these are definitely all the models. You can see all the characters have exactly the right models and everything. Everything's there. And yeah, so that's basically it. We got all of them downloaded. We got, we got the mod installed properly. And like I said before, if you need to, if you need to update your game, either do the main or the models, depending on if there's an actual update for it. Now you can tell, because this will say 2.12 main. If you have 2.11, then bam, you need to upgrade that. If you have models that are 2.11, bam, you need to upgrade to 2.12 models. So like what could happen is they could come out with 2.13 for main, but you're still using the 2.12 models. Like they haven't updated those models yet. For example, that's just an example. All right, but anyways, I really hope that helped you out. If it did, make sure to drop a like down below, comment your thoughts, subscribe for more content like this, and click that bell for notifications, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.